Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive into a different language, Kotlin, and we're going to get up and running in just a few minutes. So let's jump into it. If you have a terminal, open it up into whatever directory you want to start. So I'm going to do this inside of my YouTube directory under Kotlin tutorials. So we need to install a Java development kit, or JDK. And so let's do that using SDKman. And so we can do that by executing some command lines. So we'll do a curl -s and then https get sdkman.io and our quotes. Oh, we already did that. And then pipe it into our bash terminal. I use Z shell, so this will just execute it for us. And we have it. I already have it installed previously. And so what you can do is then source it. And so I'm just going to copy this source command just like this. I'm going to execute that. And then we're going to install a JDK. All right, so now we can do an SDK list Java. And this will list all the different Java versions. The one that I'm going to be using is the open. And so this is the one I have installed here. And so if you haven't installed it already, then do SDK install and then whatever the version is. For me, it's 17.02 and then open and hit that and install everything. We're also needing to install IntelliJ. So let's go do that. If you go to jetbrains.com or you just Google for the download, I'll put this in the video notes, but I have a Mac, so I would install the community edition. You can also pay for ultimate. This is a paid version. You get a 30-day trial. I'm just going to use the community edition for these tutorials. So grab that, download it, and then whenever you have it installed, open it up. And you will see this. We're going to create a new project. And so we want the Kotlin JVM. Select this up here. And then if you don't have it in your list, do add JDK and find it wherever it happens to be on your machine. I have 17, so let's select that. And then from there, let's name our project and we'll call this Getting Started. And so we want this to be in our Kotlin tutorials. So let's go open this up, Kotlin tutorials, and getting started. Let's actually create a new folder out of here. Getting started. And open that. And our project name will be Getting Started. And then we will finish. So this should load up for us. And now we can do a new file in here and we'll just call it main.kt. And then in here we can do function main equals println hello world. And if we run this file, so we can do run main KT here. This should run and print hello world for us. And it does. All right. You should also see that it's using whatever the JDK that you've selected and it prints hello world. So we have Kotlin up and running and then we can build whatever we need to. So if we wanted to have an example class of person and then that has a function, say hello, then we can do a print line hello from person. And so this will need some parentheses, but in our function here we can create a block and person will then say hello. And if we run this, then we get hello from person. So now we're up and running and ready to execute whatever code we need to. There's a couple other files we should bring in. So I'm going to create a new file at the top level for our Git. So we'll create a Git ignore, and in here I'm going to ignore the .idea file and then the IML file, because both of these are configuration and we don't really want to save it. We're also going to ignore the out, so where we're building our jars and executing, we don't need to save that either. And if we come back to our terminal, we can do a change directory into the getting started project, and we see some files in here. Now that we're in here, let's create a new Git repository and do a git init dot, and we'll do a git status, and then we'll do git add dot, and let's check out what we have here. And we just have our git ignore and our main, make a commit out of it. Initial commit, and we do another git status. Let's do a git show, see what we've committed, and we've just committed what we have in that one file. All right, now we have everything saved. We have the initial commit done, and we can push this up to GitHub and get everything configured. Something else that's really nice to have is having Kotlin on the command line. You can do a brew install Kotlin if you're on a Mac, and we'll let this run. All right, now that that's done installing, we can do Kotlin C, and we have a REPL here to execute commands. So we can do a print line hello, and we should see that output. There you go. Cool. So if we want to alpha test something, or just want to play around with some different commands and don't want to put it into a file, this is another way to do that. And you can see it installed its own version of the JRE to run and everything, so we don't need to do anything extra for that. And if you want to exit out of here, you can type exit. I really like to do Control D, and it'll bump you back to this main repo. One of the cool things about Kotlin is you don't have a lot of that ceremony like you would have in Java. And so you can see I don't have to specify a lot of extra things to have this class available or this function available, or do a system.out.println. All of that's handled for me in Kotlin, and we'll have more videos about this, all the cool things about Kotlin. More to come. Thanks for watching, and if you learned something in this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.